Shalomi homies. I'm here to rant. The birds are ranting, so I thought I would join in. And I'm sitting just in front of here that I just created. And getting ready to plant. I direct seeded some things last night because it's supposed to rain this weekend. So I'm just sitting, setting some intentions, saying some prayers, and thinking about a few things, including something I'm wondering about, which is that, I'm wondering if any of you have ever been told something along the lines of, oh, you march to the beat of your own drum. But said in a way as if it's a slight rather than a compliment. Now, to me, that means you're authentic, which to me is a compliment, and that's how I take it, regardless of how anyone means it. But in our culture that values conformity above all else, it has become a slight. For many people, when they say that, they're not giving you a compliment. They're saying something along the lines of, covertly, oh, aren't you special? Aren't you interesting? Aren't you weird? I can't take you seriously. But you're entertaining. It means something like that. And you know the difference. Some people mean it as an actual compliment. And some people actually appreciate authenticity. But a lot of people have been taught that it's best to conform because that's how you can most easily get your desires met. And that's how you can most easily know how to manipulate others. If they're all acting according to the agreement of this matrix, and they have put themselves neatly in one of the boxes that society says is acceptable, you know how to work that box. You know how to stimulate, how to manipulate that box in such a way to get a desired response. Okay. So if you aren't acting according to that social contract, a lot of people think that they don't want to waste their time with you, or they can't take you seriously. You're not a real person. You're weird. So I get called weird a lot in a roundabout way, in a covert way, in ways such as, oh, you march to the beat of your own drum. I was told that recently. And it was said in such a way as if it was a slight. And this is a person I was just getting to know. So that tipped me off right away that, like, okay, this isn't gonna be like a relationship that's gonna work for me, because I'm not interested in trying to convince a person that I'm worthy of listening to, or worthy of respect, or that I have anything of value to offer them. Maybe I don't. Maybe they don't value me. And I hear you when you say that. So I walk away from situations like that now, right away. I trust my heart. I trust my gut. I trust the rhythm of the drum that's beating in my chest. And I march to it. And I believe that as a child of God, that's what I have been sent here to do. I believe that's what we have all been sent here to do, is to view the world from a very unique vantage point, to see the world, interact with it in a way that no one ever has before and no one ever will again. And we are supposed to share that unique perspective, that unique slice of the pie with our brothers and sisters, bring it to the table, right? So that we can all come closer to knowing the love, the wholeness from which we came. To do anything else is a shame. And if you know that that's what you're doing, if you know you aren't being authentic, if you know that you are conforming for the sake of going along to get along, if you know that you are telling lies, I see that as tantamount to treason. I see you as a traitor. Now, there are a lot of people who don't know that's what they're doing. There are a lot of people who were born into this world and they were manipulated and coerced and groomed and brainwashed and programmed. And I believe that the light of Christ is here within the hearts of some people who have woken up. And it is the job of those people who know what's going on, who understand the spiritual nature of all of this and the spiritual battle that we are embroiled in. It's the job of those people to remind their brothers and sisters who are asleep that, hey, you're a child of God. God lives inside of you. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. And I'm going to help you remember that because I love you. That's what Christ was doing. Christ was not religious. Christ, as far as I can tell from everything I've gathered from my studies and my direct experience as a spiritual being, as a human being, is that he was a Gnostic. He was telling everyone, the kingdom of heaven is inside of you. Anything I can do, you can do too, and you can do even greater things than me. He was speaking to the divinity within all of us. That is Gnosticism. That is not religion. It's someone who obviously, as far as I'm concerned, studied and contemplated and came to see the interconnectedness of all things, and not just see it, but to know it. That's what Gnosticism is. So it angers me to no end. It confounds me. It frustrates me when I see and hear Christians telling people to follow biblical texts blindly without question, to swallow it, just swallow it down, don't ask questions. And they're actually, what they're doing is they are spreading a narrative and pushing a narrative that was actually directly opposed to what Christ was teaching insofar as I'm concerned. And how bizarre to me that the Christian faith, the church, okay, has decided to use a medieval torture device as the symbol for the Prince of Peace. And how bizarre to me that you think you come from a God who required blood sacrifice and required his own son, who you also believe was himself, to be murdered, crucified, to be a blood sacrifice. That's satanic. That's upside down. That's backwards. But what better place for Satan, for the devil, for darkness to hide than behind Christ, in the church, amongst the sheep? That's where the wolves go, so that they can feast. Please, please, please do not deny the truth of who you are. Please share it. We all want to know you. I want to know you. I can't speak for other people. But I want to know the truth of everyone. I want to know who God made you to be. Because I guarantee you it's beautiful. Much more beautiful than any box that this culture, this matrix, this world is going to try to push you in. We are all unique. Which means you, being you, and no one else, are the greatest of all time. There's no need to compare. There's no need to compete. And there's no need to be proud, because this is a gift. And we should honor it and be grateful and thankful. And the way that we can show that gratitude is by walking authentically in that gift and sharing it with others. We are a gift to be given. So give of yourself. Share of yourself. There is nothing better. There is nothing more rewarding. We've been taught by this world to take and take and take and consume and consume and consume, and look around you. Everyone doing that, most people doing that, have a God-sized hole. Even if they don't know that's what it is. That gnawing, that aching, that pit in their stomach, that anxiety that won't go away, that's all symptoms of a God-sized hole that is created when we take rather than give. When we tell lies rather than walking in the light of the truth, of the authenticity of who we are, of who God made us to be, when we don't march to the beat of our own drum. We don't march to the beat of our own drum and we march to the beat of the drum of this culture. We march straight to our slaughter. Right? What would Jesus do? What would Christ do? According to the church, he would sacrifice himself. He would make a blood sacrifice. And that's what this culture asks you to do. These religions, the religion of Christianity, it is warped. It is twisted. Christ is life, is light, is love, is the way. Yes. And that's why religion and politics and the Matrix have used Christ as their mascot. Because that is God. That was God in a person. Just as God can and does live in you if you allow God to move through you. You can't be controlled. Christ couldn't be controlled. That's why he was murdered. Because he was trying to wake up the God realization within all of us. And if that were to have happened, then the governments, the churches, the dark light of this world would be extinguished. So as long as there's one of us on this planet that recognizes their own divinity and is true and authentic and walking in it and marching to the beat of their own drum, we all have the opportunity to wake up. So don't let your light go out. Don't conform. And not conforming doesn't mean be a rebel. That's not being authentic. That is actually climbing into one of the many prescribed boxes of this culture, because this culture knows how to stimulate that and manipulate it in such a way to still get what it wants from it using reverse psychology. A rebel is just someone who doesn't actually think for themselves any more than a sheep does. They act oppositionally to everything, no matter what. That's not authentic. That's just another program in the Matrix. So in order to be authentic, it requires you to get to know yourself. Because how the hell else could you share yourself authentically if you don't know who you are? How do you come to know who you are? You go inside where God lives, the kingdom of heaven, and you radiate it out into the world. And if enough of us do that, this whole world will light up like the 4th of July. I'm telling you guys. Don't be a sellout. Don't conform. Stand true. Walk tall. Be real. Be you, because nobody else can.